Shalom. This is Brother Kashakwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. And today's lesson is going to be called Change Your Spark Plugs. All right. Um, Brothers in my camp know I like cars, so we're gonna I was like, why not use an analogy of a car to bring home the point in the spirit. So let me start off with this first before I get to Matthew 25. And I love this. This is 1 Corinthians 3:1. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as babes in Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Now, I'm not saying, I'm a babe. I'm not saying everybody, but you can always make analogies that are in the carnal set and make the carnal analogy better understood spiritually, if you see what I'm trying to say. All right, so Lord willing, this spark plug analogy can bring it home. All right, Matthew 25:1, it says, then shall the kingdom, Matthew 25:1, then shall the kingdom of the heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. All right, we know who the bridegroom is, Yahweh Shai. Verse 2, and it says, and the five of them were wise and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. All right, let's focus on verse 3. So they took their lamps and no oil with them. All right, now a lamp, this is talking about, like, nowadays lamp, you can plug it up to a wall and turn it on. You just need to change the bulb. But in this case, it's like a candle. All right, that's why you need oil for it, or like a wax. All right, if you ever seen a candle wax, when you burn the tip of it or not, the wax starts turning into a liquid, which looks like an oil, you could say. And the fire needs that to consistently burn at a thorough pace, at a nice, easy pace. All right, so I'm going to tie this into what a spark plug is. All right. So what is a spark plug? Every car has a spark plug. Every car needs a spark plug. All right. So what does a spark plug do? Small but mighty. All right. Let me start right there. There's a fire that burns inside of you that's small, but you have, it starts off small, but you have to keep that thing burning. I'm going to say this in this case. When you start off, actually, that thing was like a nuclear explosion in your spirit when you first find this truth out. You get super zealous, and then you mellow out. Okay? And you stay at a consistent pace. Okay? Because in the beginning, you took off on a full sprint. Then you catch some hell and get a little tired. And then you catch that, what they call that second wind, and then you start cruising. Boom, you start running that marathon race at a good pace. All right, and a candle, when you look at it, when you first light it, it just doesn't combust. It lights, and then it stays lit at a good, nice, mellow. It stays lit at a nice pace, quote unquote, you could say. So it says small but mighty. That's your spirit, okay? The spark of electricity that the plug emits across a small gap creates. All right? It says a spark of electricity. That spark of electricity is the catalyst. All right? Is a catalyst that the plug emits across a small gap creates the ignition for the combustion needed to start your car. So if you ever heard a car that's doing that, can't start, more than likely you need to change spark plugs, because you're not the spark plugs aren't giving you a catalyst to start the car. All right, it's not giving that combustion to start your engine. All right. So it's the same thing here in the spirit. All right. These men right here, the foolish ones, took no oil with them. They didn't change their spark plugs. All right. So their engines is doing that right now. Okay. I'll try to do the best sound effect possible. All right. So back to a spark plug. It says, by putting the engine's position in motion, it gets your mental, your spark plug is your spirit that gets your mental faculties moving. Because your spirit's energy. All right. And how do you feed your spirit? With the oil, this book, the Bible. All right. That's how you keep changing your spark plugs when you need a change. When you're in a slump, you may need to go back to the book and see what to do, which is changing your spark plugs to get that engine going again. All right. So you're not stuck at a red light because your car won't start. Yeah. Your car can power up, meaning you, man. If you change your spiritual spark plugs, you can power up. All right. Stay powered up. You continually check on yourself, check your spirit. The scriptures say, whether you be in the faith, all right, it says, and produce a smooth burn, all right, a nice, consistent burn, all right. Like when you light an incense just don't, you light it and it's done in 2 minutes. No, an incense consistently burns for a allotted amount of time. All right. Says of the compressed air fuel mixture. Okay. You need to change your spark plugs in the truth. Verse 4, Matthew 25:4. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. All right. The wise took their spark plugs and maybe extra spark plugs. So when the other ones burn out, they can just go in there and change up in their vessels. The vessels being what? Their motor with their lamps, all right? So they changed their spark plugs, all right? Here's another thing. Here's another little cool tip about a spark plug. If you have a car, let's say a nice performance car, like a sport car, and you want to add more power to it. Say you have 300 horsepower, but you want to get to 600 horsepower, all right? You get... You get an exhaust, you get mid pipes and down pipes, you get air intakes, you get intercoolers, all these types of things to get it popping. But you want to get a tune. You want to tune your car. It's highly people who say who want to get a tune, the tune shop highly suggests that you get new spark plugs. Why? Because the spark plugs that come stock can't handle the power that's being produced when you add all these performance parts to it. So you have to get upgraded spark plugs. All right. Same thing in the spirit. If you wanna up, quote unquote, your horsepower in the spirit, all right, meaning what? Up your knowledge, up your wisdom, up your brotherly kindness, your charity, your temperance, all these things. You gotta change and upgrade your spark plugs so you can actually intake that power. All right. Back to Matthew 25:4, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps, while the bridegroom tarried. All right, they all slumbered and slept, not changing their spark plugs. All right, at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. All right, then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. Trimmed means prepared. So in this case, let's make an analogy of a car. They what? They put their foot on the brake and started that engine. Just like that. All right? The wise ones, their engine started. But the foolish ones did what? You see what I'm saying? Because they didn't change the spark plugs. Verse 8, it says, and the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. Hey, bro, you got some extra spark plugs? Hey, man, you should have had this stored up. You the one who want to gain all this spiritual stuff. You should have changed yours by you. You wanted to gain all this horsepower. You should have known to change your spark plugs. That's like the main thing. Another example, you have a V8 engine. You need 8 Spark plugs. All right. You have a V6. You need 6 spark plugs. All right. You have a 4-cylinder. You need 4 spark plugs. That goes back to the talents. The Lord gave you some talents. You know how many spark plugs you need. All right. Verse 9, but the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. All right. Hey, look, bro. I changed, I was in the garage, man. I was putting that work in the garage. I got my spiritual horsepower up to an adequate level. I'm going 0 to 60 in whatever seconds in the spirit right now. You slacking. Your engine won't even start. So why would I take my spark plugs out of my engine to give it to you? You relax. Can't see you on the track. Matter of fact, if I do see you on the track, I'm dusting you. It says, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. But it's too late. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready, meaning their engines were lit, and they had a steady, smooth burn going, because they still had that zeal inside of them. and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. I'm going to stop right there. All right? Y'all can read the rest, speaking about the foolish, but right there, that door that's being shut is that grace period. Change your spark plugs now so your engine can start when Jacob's trouble hit. So your engine can start when Yahushua cracked the sky. Your engine should be already on a smooth nice little cruise right now. You should be cruising on cruising 75 miles per hour down 75. You feel me? That's a smooth burn. That's a smooth, continual pace. Okay? Because you change your spark plugs in the spirit. You gained your wisdom. You gained your knowledge. You gained your faith. All right? Your belief. All these things. Your brotherly kindness. Because you change. Spark plugs are very small. Very small. You see that? It says small but mighty. This is how big a spark plug is. Look, he's holding it in his hand. Spark plugs are not big. All right? It only takes a grain of a mustard seed. You see what I'm saying? This spark plug makes Lamborghinis run. All these top-end vehicles. A spark plug makes it run. So you need to change that little piece right there. Because if you don't have this piece in the car, I don't care what you did to the car, your car won't start. You can have the coolest car on the block. Looks cool, all that, nice color, got all the performance part, but your spark plug ain't changed. You can't even drive the shit. It's the same thing with you. You don't change your spark plug, you could be the precept, whatever. Know all the precepts in the world, got all this knowledge, all this, that, but you ain't changed your spiritual spark plug. The Lord can't use your ass because you won't start up. You see? Change your spark plug in the spirit. Get it together. All right? So I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 First Fruit and Brother Kasha Quala from the GMS Atlanta Church here in Georgia. Until next time, we'll say shalom.